Hey folks, Dale Davidson here, the VA guy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you like what we're doing here, if we're giving you some good information, hey, hit that like and subscribe button. We do appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell too, because when we do these videos every couple of weeks, you'll be notified when another one comes out, and so then you'll be kept up to date. If you have any topics you want to hear about, if you have any specific questions relating to your case, email us specific questions to dearvaguy@gmail.com, dearvaguy@gmail.com. Do not put any kind of personal information on the comments below. If you leave a comment below, just keep your personal information personal, okay? So, today's topic, presumptive conditions when exposed to Agent Orange. Everybody has heard about Agent Orange, I would think, at some time in their lifetime. It was a herbicide widely used in Vietnam and Thailand during the Vietnam War. And hey, look, it's been used probably on every military base in the world as a defoliant to kill the shrubbery and the trees and everything else, so the enemy didn't have a place to hide. And I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I pointed out that 20% of the country of Vietnam was sprayed with Agent Orange. 20% of the entire country. That's a big daggum country, okay? And they would get these big planes, 5 across, flying over the country to spray. So anyway, it's some really bad chemicals and very toxic. So if you served in the Republic of Vietnam or near the Korean demilitarized zone, the DMZ, during the Vietnam era, or in certain other related jobs, you may have had contact with Agent Orange. If you were in Vietnam, more likely than not, you were in contact with Agent Orange. If you were in Thailand and some of the military bases there, you more likely than not had contact with Agent Orange. If you were diagnosed, if you served, okay, and you were diagnosed with any of the following conditions, you don't need to prove that it started during or got worse because of your military service. So this is a presumptive condition that you don't have to prove, okay? So, bladder cancer, okay? Chronic B-cell leukemia, Hodgkin's disease, multiple myelomas, a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, prostate cancer, there's some respiratory cancers in there, soft tissue sarcomas, ALS, chloracne, and other types of acneiform disease, okay? Type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, hypothyroidism. I can tell I'm not a doctor. Okay, ischemic heart disease, monoclonal gammopathy, all kinds of Parkinson's disease, peripheral neuropathy, early onset of the peripheral neuropathy, a lot of different other diseases there. So the point being is that if you have one of these presumptive conditions, you don't have to prove that your service, you don't have to prove that it started during the service or that you got worse because of your service. All you got to do is prove that you were there, which your military records will prove you were there, okay? And you got to show medical evidence that you've got this disease, and it's presumed that you were exposed to this toxic chemical while in service. Okay, while you were in the Republic of Vietnam, the DMZ, and some of those air bases in Thailand. Again, that's the beauty of a presumptive disability, is that you don't have to prove that this disease is because of your military. Okay, You just have to prove you were there and you've got this disease. Now it's presumed that your military service, because of your military service, you got this disease, or you got this cancer, you got this illness, whatever it may be. So we're almost halfway there with respect to your disability claim, because the presumption is a really big deal. So again, I want to stress to you, so the service requirement for the presumptive exposure. Question, where did you serve? Well, I have type 2 diabetes, but I served in the States. Well, we don't get that. You don't get that presumptive exposure because you served in the United States. You only get that presumptive exposure if you were served in Vietnam or in Thailand. Okay. What location? Where were you in order for you to take advantage of that presumption? Okay, that presumption that you were exposed to Agent Orange. Were you over in Vietnam? Then you get the presumption. If you weren't in Vietnam, were you in Thailand or somewhere else? If you were in Hawaii, you don't get that presumption. Okay, if you were in Diego Garcia, you don't get that presumption. Okay, it's not saying that you can't file. It's just saying that we have to provide a connection of your military service to your illness or to your cancer. Okay, you have the presumption exposure based upon your location where you serve. Again, the Republic of Vietnam. Okay, aboard a U.S. military vessel that operated inland, maybe some of the patrol boats, okay, down the rivers in Vietnam, or the Blue Water Navy, who served off the coast, not more than 12 miles off the coast of Vietnam. Okay. Now, we've talked a lot in these past videos about the PACT Act. Remember, the PACT Act was a legislation that was enacted in August of 2022 that really expanded the number of presumptions or presumptive illnesses that the VA would take into account with exposure to burn pits, exposure to Agent Orange, and other things. So it also added presumptive locations, okay? So it says any U.S. or Thai military base from January 9 of 1962 to June 30th of 1976. So there's your Thai Air Force bases. Laos from December 1st of 1965 through September 30, 1969. Cambodia, certain areas of Cambodia, I think it's Mimot, M-I-M-O-T, I think is, or Krek, okay? Province from April 16th, 1969 through April 30th, 1969. Guam, America Samoa, okay? From January 62 to July 1980, and then to Johnson Atoll, or on a ship around that between January 1st of 72 to September 30th, 1977. So, again, the PACT Act expanded the locations. Again, presumptive disability depends upon where you are located. If you were located in one of those areas, we get the presumption that your illness or your cancer was caused by your exposure to Agent Orange or a burn pit, whatever it may be. Okay. So in addition to your location, you had to be in active duty. Unfortunately, if you are guard or reserve, you don't get that presumption unless your unit was actually called up to service through presidential order. Okay, so if you were involved in transporting, testing, storing Agent Orange during your military service, again, that, maybe you were transporting Agent Orange from air bases in California to Thailand or to Vietnam. I don't know. We'd have to have those. We need to get those records to see if you were on the airplane and that you were transporting Agent Orange and those drums were leaking, because they did. Then certainly, we would need to know that, so we could give that to the VA to show them that yes, you were exposed while on that airplane. And the people who were cleaning the airplanes out after the storage or the transportation, again, you were exposed too. So, but we need to have documentation for that. Now, I mentioned a little bit about reservists not being eligible. Now, there's always exceptions. Okay, there are eligible reserve locations and time periods and units to include Lockburn Rickenbacker Air Force Base in Ohio from 1969 to 1986, okay? And then there's Westover Air Force Base in Massachusetts from 1972 to 1982, and then the Pittsburgh International Airport in Pennsylvania from 1972 to 1982. So if you were in one of those reserve locations, then it's possible that we can look at the military records, look at your service records, and get that presumption on your side of the equation, get your presumption for this eligible benefit. So anyway, so again, presumptions allow you to apply for benefits without having to prove certain things, right? But presumptions depend upon the location of where you served, okay? So it all depends on where you served. If you were in Alaska, you don't get the presumption. If you're in Vietnam or one of those Air Force bases in Thailand, you get the presumption, okay? So long as you serve during the qualifying wartime period. Let me make that clear. So again, presumptions depend upon location. So if you need some help determining that, finding your military records, just shoot me an email at dearvaguy@gmail.com, dearvaguy@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to give you some support there. So, hey, look, thank you for tuning in today. If you've learned something about presumptive disabilities with respect to Agent Orange, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hey, tell your friends and family about it. We want to reach as many people as possible and let them know what their rights are, whether you're a veteran or a spouse of a veteran. Surviving spouses of veterans are eligible for some benefits, okay? Don't let the VA tell you otherwise. So depends on, they've got some eligibility requirements, but and we can help you with that. So anyway, if you need help with your DIC claim or anything with respect to the VA, you want to hear a different topic, you've got some questions, whatever it is, leave us a comment below. If you got a specific question with respect to your particular situation, shoot us an email at dearvaguy@gmail.com, dearvaguy@gmail.com, and we'll answer it for you. Until next time, thank you, veterans, for your service. Because of you, we are free, and we're free to do great things in this country and have freedom of speech and freedom of press and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for that. But hey, especially thank you for the spouses of our veterans, because they kept the home fires burning for you while you were out serving. So thank you so very much for that. And so until next time, you be blessed. Thank you.
Catching bass on an old fishing boat. One more story from Grandpa Joe. Let's get happy before